What you got for us next?
Browntown.
What?
That wasn't
Code
me
Browntown?
being no. Browntown is an organisation down here in Christchurch, and their whole point of existence is uplifting Māori and Pacific communities. And they planned a gig later this month, but they had some backlash because they did tiered ticketing, where they had $20 tickets for Māori and Pacific tangata and $30 for allies. And I assume this is just so that they can make it sort of encourage people in the Māori and Pacific communities to come along and make it a little bit easier for them to attend. And yeah, they got a lot of backlash for it, which is quite sad. So tiered pricing is commonly used in Australia to afford First Nations people, including Māori and Pasifika, discounted tickets to events, including at the Sydney Opera House. So this is not crazy,
mean?
but yeah, it's pretty cool. But they had a lot of backlash because it was seen as racist, because
Of course they thought that.
cheaper for if you're a certain race, which
yeah, it's almost like
you nuanced. You can't just say that.
Or when you're an old person, or when you're a
Yes.
beneficiary, or
yes,
anything like
or
that.
a child.
Yeah, like
or an older person. Yeah, and they even had to move the venue as well, which was really sad because they were getting a lot of intimidation online. But they've been good about it. They heard from the Human Rights Commission and they said, hey, maybe don't do this. And they're like, cool, sure, whatever, it is what it is. But then they got a lot of backlash online, which is really sad. And they've just said, to those who don't get the vibe, get a grip. You're getting upset over a $30 ticket to an event that you had no intention of attending in the first place. Your attempts to tear us down and intimidate us are futile. Browntown is brimming with proud and unapologetically brown Tangata Moana. I've never heard Tangata Moana, but I love that. Who stand on business, and we are embraced by tangata tiriti who understand the gravity of our mahi. So yeah, good on them for not backing down.
But also, I'm not surprised it was Christchurch that got their panties in a twist, because like we had tiered pricing for that concert for the Hikui that we were promoting last year. That had a tiered pricing too, where it was cheaper for Māori.
Yes,
and you could also offer to like pay for a ticket even if you couldn't go, or like I don't know, it just seems like white people trying to act like they're being oppressed again. Or sorry, I guess white and others probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there's other people who could have a problem with it.
So they ended up changing the naming of the tickets to Alofa, which is a love, and Ally. Ally? Not Ally.
Ally. No, yeah,
This is
Ally. It
right?
looks like Ally, but nah, it's Ally.
I was like, hang on, that's Ally, right? Ally access priced at $20 and $30 respectively, so a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the same thing, right?
Well, yeah, it's just like the same way that we know children don't have as much income as adults, so we give them cheaper prices. Elderly do not have as much income as everyone else. We give them different prices. It's literally no different. The only reason it's different is because they don't want to admit that the reason that this is something that has to be done is because also there is huge disparities in terms of inequality when it comes to wealth in our communities as well. Also, a lot of communities, when they put on events, they make it cheaper for their own community members. Like, I've been to queer events that were run by queer people who it was like, cheaper for our community. And sometimes if you wanted to bring your straight friends, they might have to pay a little more. Like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it's making sure that this space is safe for the people it's intended and that it's easier for them to access it. And $10 off is it's a
so I feel
small
like it's
amount,
a
really.
huge amount.
It's like it's not like $50 and $100. It's not egregious, but
Yeah.
someone's always going to get their panties in a bit of a twist. But I'll just read this wee thing here because this kind of goes into a bit more of why the controversy is not really a controversy in the end. The initial pricing model was scrutinized for potentially breaching the Human Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination based on identifying factors such as sex, marital status, religious belief, race, ethnic and national origins, disability, and sexual orientation. In a statement to RNZ, race relations Ms. Derby said she was pleased to hear that the racially tiered ticket pricing had been removed and commended the organisers for making the changes. While recognizing the event organisers were well intentioned in aiming to increase accessibility for their communities, there are alternative, non-discriminatory avenues which could also achieve the same outcome without the risk of perpetuating negative stereotypes about particular communities. A spokesperson for the commission also told RNZ they could not make findings or decide if the law has been breached, as it was the responsibility of the Human Rights Tribunal, a separate entity. In a statement, Browntown organisers defended the initial pricing strategy as a commitment to accessibility and equity, and said the intention was to reduce financial barriers for Tangata Moana communities. And then just what we've basically just talked about, the systematic inequalities that have historically impacted Māori and Pacific communities was considered when tiering their ticket pricing, Browntown said in their statement. Regarding waves, our mission is to reduce financial barriers for Tangata Moana that is easier for our people to access our arts, culture, and music. They believed it is crucial to allow for an open and safe space for them to connect to their whakapapa. By offering tiered pricing, we hope that Tangata Moana are able to fully engage with the event, which is designed to celebrate their heritage and their creativity. They also noted that staggering ticketing structures are not uncommon.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think what that lady tried to say to the race relations honestly just fucks me off, because trying to act like they're trying to say no because, oh, it might feed into some negative stereotypes about poor Maoris. Like, nah, actually, just a lot of us have been disadvantaged, whether it be because we're actively poor or because some of us might not get job opportunities because, like, it's a little bit easier for me, harder to tell. My brother, you can tell he has different experience. Like, and exactly, white fragility. Like, it's a cop out because, again, they're trying to take the centrist type of, oh no, but we're just worried about, like, we don't want to keep oppressing them. So, like, we're trying to be mindful. It's like, no, you're trying to find some lame excuse and just make it work for you. Like, because it even makes me think of, like, there's that art that was in the background before I changed my setup. But this here is Utua Mati Mati. They're an art collective here in Wellington. And I've actually taken all of the artwork out, as you can tell. But this was actually free for me because they are a queer Māori collective. And so if you were a part of those, if you were like queer Māori, free. If you were like, I think it was just queer, it might have been like $5. And then if it was and then like it was full price if you were none of those communities. And that was awesome because then I got these resources. I was able to start sharing it with other people. And many of you, so the artwork in the background here, you may recognize the artist because she's the one that did the first image of Hannah ripping the bill that went viral, that everyone was like putting on t-shirts, and that's a little Wellington collective that were just doing it and providing it to the community for free, so to try and act like, oh, we're just kind of trying to worry about not being, leaning into these negative stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's like,
How dare you say that all Māori and Pasifika are poor and therefore need a discount in order to attend to this event that I would never have gone to in the first place and doesn't concern me or of any interest to me.
Or like, I don't even know if people are also aware. This is actually a free Māori resource that anyone can get. So if anyone wants to go online right now, you can get this. This is a Māramataka, which is a Māori lunar calendar. and you could go online, and I believe it actually comes from the Christchurch District Health Board. You can order them online for free. Just look up Maramataka free online, or go to te wai orang or oratanga.nz. I'll type it into the chat. And like, you can get these things. Like, we just don't know about them a lot of the time.
Yeah. Ooh. I want to know what happened to all the artwork inside of the book, though.
Oh, I've got it. I've been meaning to put a lot of it on my walls, so that's why that one was on there. I'm trying to see if I can't see where I put all the other ones, but I'm slowly going to put them around my room because there was so many cool pieces of art in there. Maybe one day I'll have to go through and we'll actually look at, maybe on Friday's show, we'll actually go in and have a look at some of the artists in that collective, because they're really awesome. I also noticed, I think one of our BHN crew actually might be related to the artist, Huriana Kokeko. So,
Nice.
nice.